What is title insurance? Yes, we're going to talk about another insurance policy. Is it important for when you get a mortgage? Is it important when you buy a house? So we're going to talk about that in just a sec.
Yeah.
Cliff, ERI Real Estate, and
Hi, I'm Bex with Sun American Mortgage.
very nice. All right, Bex, tan update. You look
I'm
tan.
looking pretty good. Yeah, got a little bit of sun this weekend, not too much.
I'm not even going to.
Yeah.
That's why we're long sleeves.
Yeah. You got
Florida
the back of
boy,
your
and you're
neck.
tanner than me. We're in a new
Gotta catch up.
not location, but new
yeah.
office.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you can't tell I'm on camera, but I'm tall, 6'6", so Bex always puts me in these awkward
I put him in a short chair today.
short chairs. So we're almost even.
I wish.
Okay, I'll slow down. All right, Bex, what is this? August 17th?
18th today. 18th today.
So we're 3 weeks into August.
Yes.
So what's the rate?
Yes. So last week, we kind of talked about earlier this morning, the rate was a little bit steady. Last week, we saw a little bit of zigzags. We got one report that was really positive and one report that was not so positive. So they kind of evened out throughout the week. So we're opening this week at 6.625 is going to be true conventional rate. And then your advertised rate, you're seeing some type of a buy down or some added cost to 6.375 on the conventional side.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the FHA side, we're starting at 6.25. And then the advertised, some type of cost to it is 5.75.
Okay, so FHA is still really good. Yeah, yep. Low sixes. So what was the report that wasn't so positive?
The jobs, the jobs went back and forth. So.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that always affects everything, right? That's why it's always up and down.
Yeah.
So, okay, we are going to talk about insurance. Now, we're not talking about home insurance, right? That covers in case you have a fire or flood. So get that out of your mind. We're not talking about home insurance. We're actually talking about title insurance. So since you're the professional and the smart one on the two of us, what is title insurance? Yes. Can you give us a little explanation?
Yeah. So like Cliff said, home insurance protects you if there's a fire or an issue with your house. You also have the mortgage insurance, which we've talked about. That protects the lender if you decide you don't want to keep paying. Mm-hmm. That helps protect them. And then we've got now title insurance. So there's actually two different policies that go into play when you're purchasing a home. So you've got what's called a lender's title policy, which again protects us as the lender. That's our investment. When we lend you the money, we want to protect that asset. And then you've also got your owner's policy, which typically in most cases, the seller will actually pay for that. At the time of the sale, they'll pay for that policy, and then you as the buyer pay for the lender policy. Mm-hmm. So it's just that. The owners helps protect you. If someone comes forward later on down the line trying to claim ownership of your property, that policy helps protect you. If something happens where there's another invested party, if someone tries to put a lien on your property, that the lender's policy helps protect us to keep our loan in that first position. If something ever happened, we would get paid first.
Very nice. So let's go through a couple scenarios like we usually do. So if somebody comes through and buys cash deal.
Yes.
Do they need a title? Do they need title insurance?
Yeah. In that case, still very, very highly recommended. You have an owner's policy. Yeah. You do not have to have a lender's policy because there's no lender.
Right.
There's no need to protect a lender. But an owner, it's not required, but it's highly recommended because that is your protection. Your protection
as the buyer. So even though you're buying cash, what if you buy the house and they haven't paid their taxes in 3 years?
Yep.
There's going to be a lien on that house, and then, or maybe they have a construction lien that you don't know about.
And sometimes those liens, the reason you don't know about them is sometimes they take a minute. They have to go through legal systems, and they don't get put on the house until after they've already sold. And so that lender policy, again, would help protect you against that.
So as a buyer, normally, I mean, a real estate professional, I always, if I'm representing a seller, I'm going to recommend them always to get a seller's policy or an owner's policy. But they usually front that cost. It's not that expensive. Usually it's less than 0.5%, right, of the sales price, purchase price. So it's not that expensive, but it gives everybody. So basically, I recommend to my seller to give to the buyer, so the buyer knows, hey, I am buying this house outright
in good faith.
Good faith. There's nothing to prevent me from buying this house. And that policy, how long does that last? The owner's policy?
For the life.
For the life of your house that you own.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then if you ever sell it, you're going to provide an owner's policy to the next buyer.
Yeah.
Very nice. So let's go back to the lender policy.
Yes.
Now that is required.
Yes, that is required if you have a mortgage.
Right.
So if you've got a mortgage, you're applying for financing, a loan, then yes, you have to have the lender's policy. The owner's policy is always optional, but highly, highly recommended.
Highly recommended. And again, the lender's policy is protecting the lender because they're putting a lot up. I mean, if it's a $500,000 house and you get a $450,000 loan, they're giving you $450,000. That's a lot of money.
We need to make sure we're protected.
Need to make sure they're protected. Now, that policy, how long does that last?
The life of the loan.
Life of the loan.
So if you refinance in 5 years, you get a new policy that follows that loan. It's attached to that loan. So that's really what it's protecting, is that loan. So if you refinance or if you pay that loan off, then that's when that policy goes away.
Good. So in a real estate transaction, you really have three main players, right? You have the real estate agent, you have the loan officer who is Bex, and then you also have the title company.
Yes.
A title insurance policy usually, and I haven't seen this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's always Alta, A-L-T-A.
Yes. Yeah, in most 99% of the time.
So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be an Alta title insurance policy. And again, that's for if you get an owner's policy, it's for the life of how long you own that house. For a lender's policy, it's going to be for the life of the loan.
Yes.
And who sets that up? You? Title company.
Title will do that. Yep. So we work pretty much hand in hand with title. We do a lot of behind the scenes communication back and forth. Once you go under contract, title and lenders are communicating back and forth throughout the whole process. Make sure we're balancing all the numbers, all the figures, and make sure that we're giving you the protection that you need and also the protection that we need.
Yeah. So in title company, and most first-time home buyers, even ones that only buy 2 or 3 houses in their lifetime, they don't really understand title. Now, usually when you close, you go in title and you sign all the documents and you go, oh, this is title. But they do a lot.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah, and they work hand in hand with the loan officer. So a title is going to provide you an escrow officer, right? They're going to be the ones responsible for make sure everything gets coordinated.
Settled at the end.
Settled, everything done. They do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then they also provide that title insurance.
Yep.
Okay.
Good stuff. And the nice thing I will say is title insurance, different to mortgage insurance, different to home insurance. You only pay it the one time, right? So there's no monthly premium, there's no yearly premium. It's just at the sale or the purchase, whichever side you're on. And then, like we said, if you refinance, then you'll have a new policy. The other one gets closed out. So you might there's no overlap or anything. So there's never any additional costs.
So no monthly payments on that. It's a one-time
paid at closing, considered in your closing costs.
Good. Very nice. Okay, thanks, Bex.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Next week, we don't know. We're trying to figure out what we're going to talk about.
We've got some good topics in mind, but if you guys have any thoughts, let us know.
Put them in the comments or shoot us a text or shoot us a DM, whatever you want, and we can talk about what's interesting to you. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks, Bex.
See ya.
Bye.